All right, so this is me going over your Intro to Rates notes from Monday, October 28th. This is great for people who want a refresher or people that were absent and just need to go over it again to make sure they have a little bit better understanding. So like I said, this is your Intro to Rates notes. So let's practice finding a rate. Take your first and second fingers and find your pulse either on your wrist or on your neck. When time begins, silently count the number of beats in 1 minute. Record your results below and then exchange your results with two neighbors. So, for these purposes, we will all fill in 1 minute and we'll say that Mrs. Kenise had 65 beats per minute. We'll say Mrs. Miller had 57 beats per minute, and Mr. Scott had 51 beats per minute. So our rate that you would write down would be 65 beats in 1 minute. 57 beats in 1 minute, and 51 beats in 1 minute. Okay, so all we're figuring out is the rate. What is the total amount of beats in the time frame that we talked about, okay? So why is this beneficial to determine the rate of each person? Well, if we determine the rate, then it's easier to make a comparison. So it's beneficial so that we can make comparisons. Hello? Okay, go ahead and pause and write this down. All right, moving on to our vocab section. Rate. A rate is a ratio that describes the comparison by division of two quantities with different units. An example of this could be the total miles per the total amount of hours, the total meters per the total seconds. Then we have the word unit rate. The unit rate describes the amount per one, or the rate when the denominator is 1. So an example would be 27 cents per ounce, 40 miles per gallon. Okay, that would be like 27 cents for 1 ounce, 40 miles for 1 gallon. Okay, so we're just going to turn that into a fraction where our bottom is our unit, which is 1 of whatever we're talking about. Gallons, ounces, okay, minutes, whatever. All right, first two examples. Tasha earns $162 for 12 hours of work. So our rate is just taking that information. So she makes $162 for 12 hours. Okay. So to find our unit rate, what we would do is write our rate, 162, so we can put money on top and hours on the bottom. 162 hours, $162 for 12 hours, sorry. And I want to figure out how much money I'm going to make in 1 hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply and divide. So this is new. You're going to do diagonals. You're going to take the diagonal with two numbers, and we're going to multiply them. 162 times 1 is 162. Then we're going to divide that by 12. Okay? 162 divided by 12 gives us 13.50. So our unit rate is $13.50 per hour. Okay, so this is all new. We're using a calculator. We're multiplying and dividing. Cross multiplying and dividing. Okay. But not bad, not bad. All right, problem number 2. An electric scooter will travel 15 miles on 2 hours of charge. So our rate is our total distance for how much time we're talking about. So 15 miles in 2 hours. Okay, that's all we're writing down. Our rate is just taking that information. So I'm going to do miles to hours in 15 miles in 2 hours equals 1 hour. How many miles? So we're going to cross multiply and divide once again. 15 times 1 is 15. We're going to divide that by 2. So type in your calculator, 15 divided by 2, and we figure out that in 1 hour we can make it 7.5 miles. So our unit rate is 7.5 miles per hour. All right, flip your paper when you're ready. All right, example number 3. Complete the table by using the following information. So once again, here's our situations, just like those last 2 examples we did. We're taking that information and finding our rate, and then we're going to take that to figure out our unit rate. So in this situation A, Samuel can do 120 jumping jacks. Put 120 JJ over 2 minutes. That's our rate. 120 jumping jacks for 2 minutes. So now to figure out our unit rate, we need to have 1 minute in the bottom and figure out how many jumping jacks that is. So cross multiply and divide. 120 times 1 is 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60. Okay, so our unit rate is 60 jumping jacks over 1 minute. Okay, 60 jumping jacks per minute. B, a large plane cruises at 530 miles per hour. So we know for our rate, our total distance was 530 miles, and we were talking about 1 hour. And you might be thinking, well, isn't the unit rate dealing with 1? You're correct. It's going to be the exact same thing. Since they already told us per hour, they gave us the unit rate. So they gave us the rate and the unit rate. It does not change. So all you have to do is rewrite 530 miles per 1 hour. All right, part C. A babysitter gets paid $60 for 4 hours of work. So I want to know, what's my unit rate going to be? So that means we need to figure out how much money is this girl going to make in 1 hour. So we're going to cross multiply and divide. 60 times 1 is 60, and we have to do 60 divided by 4. Okay, so if you type 60 divided by 4 in your calculator, you get $15 per hour. $15 per 1 hour. All right, use your understanding of rates in solving ratio problems to answer the questions below. Number 4, use the information about the various methods of transportation to answer the questions below. Part A, how many miles can the plane travel in 1 hour? All right, so Part A, dealing with an airplane. Based on the information they gave us, the plane can travel 2,320 miles in 4 hours. But the question said, how many miles can it travel in 1 hour? So we have to find our unit rate. So hour, 1 hour. We'll cross multiply and divide. Okay, 1 times 2,320 is 2,320. 2,320 divided by 4 in your calculator gives us 580 miles per hour. How many miles can the plane travel in 1 hour? 580 miles. B, how many miles can a bicyclist travel in 1 hour? All right, so Part B. We know that the bicyclist, that's a tough word to say, can travel 153 miles in 9 hours. So there's our rate. Now we want to find our unit rate. So in 1 hour, how far can that person go? So cross multiply and divide. 153 times 1 is 153. 153 divided by 9 gives us how many miles we want. And that bicyclist can travel 17 miles. Okay, so 17 m in 1 hour. Part C. In 1 hour period, how much further can the boat travel than the bike? Well, we just solved for the bike in Part B, but we haven't done anything with a boat yet. So we're actually going to have to solve the boat information and then compare the boat versus the bike. So for the boat can travel, I'll write boat, 408 miles in 6 hours, okay? So we want to know how far can the boat travel in 1 hour. So cross multiply and divide, 408 times 1 divided by 6. So 408 divided by 6, what does that give us? Let me solve that. It's not an easy one. 408 divided by 6, I don't have a calculator. 6 doesn't fit into 4. 6 fits into 40. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract. 4, drop them right, 8. 6 and 8 makes 48. I'm left with nothing. So the boat can travel 68 miles in 1 hour. Okay? But we want to know how much further the boat can go than the bike in 1 hour. So we have to do boat minus bike. So we have to do 68 minus 17 to figure out the boat can travel 51 more miles. Two more problems. Number 5, Brody and Cameron earn extra money by mowing lawns. Brody earns $90 for 6 hours of work. Cameron earns $52 for 4 hours of work. Who earns more money per hour? Okay, so we have money per hour. Money per hour. So I need to figure out if I had 1 hour, how much money is Brody going to make? So cross multiply and divide. 90 divided by 6. I believe it's 15. 90 divided by 6, yeah, it's 15. So Brody makes $15 in 1 hour. Okay, to figure out Cameron, we have to do 52 times 1 divided by 4. 52 divided by 4 gives us 13. So the question said, who earns more money per hour? The answer is Brody. Brody earns more money per hour. He makes $15, which is $2 more than Cameron does per hour. All right, last one. Number 6, using the table below, determine the unit rate of pies per minute at a pie eating contest. So pies per minute. So I'm just going to look at a chart, and I'm going to pick one of the areas. So I'm just going to go with the smallest numbers. So 18 pies in 4 minutes. So I want to know in 1 minute, how many pies is that? Okay, so we're going to do 18 times 1, cross multiply and divide. 18 times 1 is 18. Now 18 divided by 4 gives us 4.5. So that means every single minute, this person can eat 4.5 pies. They must be tiny pies, or that's very intense. Okay, so to find our unit rate, all we did was cross multiply and divide to figure out how many pies can this person eat in 1 minute. And that's it for your intro to rates.